Hi, my name is Andrian. I am a guest lecturer for TerpsEXCEED. TerpsEXCEED is a 2-year certificate program. I am with the founders of TerpsEXCEED, Amy and Meredith. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, can you tell me about yourselves?
Well, sure. My name is Amy Diagati. I'm the director of TerpsEXCEED, and I was thrilled to be able to be at University of Maryland at a time when starting a program like this was really exciting to everybody here. So this is a program for students with intellectual disabilities who come, like you said, and earn a certificate for 2 years. And our goal is to make it as inclusive as possible. So we were lucky to be able to, it was kind of during COVID. I decided, that this would be a good time to start developing all the relationships we need to start a program like that. So I spent a year doing that before we were able to open right after kind of COVID had closed everything down. So we were able to open when the university opened back up again.
Awesome. And Meredith, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Meredith Gramlich. I'm Associate Director of TerpsEXCEED, working closely with Amy. And I'm really enjoying being here on the campus and helping make this program really inclusive and having the students really be fully engaged throughout campus in their living, learning, and earning on campus, and having the college students really have a fully rich experience. And we'll tell you more about the program. Back in 2021, there were, I think, just a handful of mentors, and now we have over 120 mentors on campus. So it's really fantastic, and it's really just become super popular on campus, and mentors are saying it's their favorite part of their college experience.
Nice. So I had to ask, how did you get into working with people with disabilities?
We're both going to have very similar answer. I have a sibling with intellectual disabilities, and so that was just an experience growing up that I think shaped my ideas. And he went to a college-based program. Actually, after I went to college, he was kind of like, well, I want to go to college. And there was a teacher in Southern California who started a program at a community college, and he went to that. And so it meant so much to him. So it was always in the back of my head that would be something that I really would like to start someday. And until then, just worked with people with intellectual disabilities in career development, got my master's in rehabilitation counseling for employment.
Same story for me. I have a sibling with intellectual disabilities as well, and that really shaped who I am. I was always her advocate growing up, feeling that she could do anything anyone else could do, and I always was finding creative solutions for how she could do them. And then I kind of pulled that right into my career, figuring out creative solutions for career opportunities for people with disabilities, and then have pulled that into inclusion on campus, working alongside Amy in this wonderful TerpsEXCEED program. So, really it's shaped me and my advocacy for people with disabilities being included in society.
So you had worked somewhere before TerpsEXCEED. Can you explain that for us?
Oh, yes. Well, both Meredith and I had worked at the university, just in another capacity, doing some model demonstration for students with disabilities getting jobs. And before that, we actually both also worked for a company called Transcend for 20-ish years, which was all about working with people with disabilities and career development and jobs.
So I had to ask, how did you both decide to work together?
It works great.
We just did. We had known each other for years. Yeah. And so it just kind of made sense.
What does TerpsEXCEED stand for?
Oh, this took me hours of trying to find a name and have it mean something. It actually does mean Terps experiencing college through employment and education discovery.
Okay, thank you.
So that spells out exceed. That took me a long time. I did want it to mean something, but most people don't know that. They just call it TerpsEXCEED. Thought that exceed is kind of a positive word too. So we wanted the whole concept of the name to be positive.
I had to ask, how did you put all the pieces together for TerpsEXCEED?
Yeah, that's interesting. When I first came, I came to the university 2017 to work on a different grant. And it was always something in the back of my mind that I would love to start. And I know that people in the past had tried to start one like years and years ago, and it just didn't work. So I thought this was maybe a better time and a better opportunity. I had been working with a couple of state agencies that were really interested in having something like this in the state of Maryland. So I connected with the Maryland DD Council and Rachel London, who was in their mission statement. So I sort of made a deal with her, like, if you really want this done, I think I can do this at University of Maryland if you can give us some startup funds. So that was what launched us, was a grant from the DD Council. It was 1 year long, and so started in with planning in January just before COVID hit, and did a full year of getting planning and then getting the grant to start that next year. So it was a lot of setting up meetings with all the different people on campus, and I needed it to go up pretty high so that it would be recognized. So luckily at the time, our dean in the College of Education was Dr. Jennifer Rice. She's now our provost. So she liked the idea. She gave the thumbs up. We had a couple of meetings with her. And so once she gave the go-ahead, it got passed on to, a lot of higher-ups. And they said, please accept meetings with Amy, which was lovely to have that set. So when I called people to set up meetings, they kind of knew I was coming. And so just met with all the different partners, and we're still meeting with people as we're growing. There's whole departments on campus I didn't even know existed that we now, we will meet and set up partnerships with. So it was just a combination of getting some outside funding and doing something that the state really wanted to see happen, and then bringing it to the campus and meeting everybody we needed to meet, to figure out how we can do a TerpsEXCEED, a post-secondary program on campus. And really the goal was to do it the way any other program works on campus. I didn't want to have people do anything special. So when they'd say, how should we do that? I'd say, well, how do you do that for any other non-traditional academic program? And they'd say, oh, we do it like the XYZ. And I go, let's just do that then. And we'll bring in some extra supports. So I wanted to make sure that it was fit right into the campus community the way other programs had, and not have them do anything super special just for this population of students. And that seemed to work. It was less of a heavy lift, and it seemed to make people understand that it was just a specialized program like a bunch of specialized programs on campus. Mm-hmm. And that, and that's just to encompass it into the typical, structure of the university. And that was really the goal from the beginning.
So Meredith, how do you help assist Amy?
I think I help with a big piece that I'm involved with is really that peer mentoring, orchestrating all of those layers of support, because I lead the peer mentoring class, and then we have layered leadership opportunities. So the course is a certification course for the students who provide supports, and then they can continue on to get certified at a level 2, and then there's a level 3 and a level 4 and actually a level 5 now. So they continue on with helping to manage with TerpsEXCEED and helping to really provide support in a natural way to help with true inclusion on campus. So I help with that. I help with family outreach and really all the administration of the program. We really kind of work in lockstep with all parts of this. We work really closely. But I think one piece that I think we're really proud of in this whole thing of how do you do it for other students is that now we've had two cohorts of students go through graduation. And I think the perfect example of how inclusive this is during that graduation is that our students walk the stage alongside all the other College of Education students. They were right up there graduating with everyone else. And that graduation ceremony, they awarded the certificate and graduation words, whatever those people say. They just included it right along with everyone else. So there was nothing. They just made it work seamlessly, and it was completely inclusive. There wasn't a separate ceremony, and it was, I mean, not a prouder
They're
moment.
just they're one of the programs or certificates that graduate with the College of Ed like everybody else, and they shake hands with the dean and the department chair, just like everyone else, and they acknowledge their accomplishments.
So, graduation, is it like a sad day? Like, I can't believe this is happening.
It's mixed.
Celebratory.
It's
for
mixed.
us.
We're sad to know that we're not going to see them every day in the fall, but we're also thrilled because we can see them moving on. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we will miss them. So you're right. It's mixed emotions.
Incredible growth, though, to really see, and I think for these families too, who really had not imagined that their young adults would be ever having this opportunity. It's incredible for them to see them graduating from college. Yeah. It's for us and the families, I think we're all just incredibly proud. Yeah.
Like mothers, kind of.
Oh, yeah. We all feel like mama bears.
Bit.
Absolutely.
So, how do you improve inequality with this program?
Well, I think we improve inclusion. I think that's the way to say it. I think with all of these mentors, and it's 120 we're up to that are, functioning mentors this semester, I think it's their ability to model inclusive practices all over campus, and then their friends see them hanging out with students with disabilities, and it's no big deal. So I think it's just that the way that the mentors embed them right into the community along with them. They're students. That's not something we can do. We aren't students here, so that's where that mentoring piece is so important, that I think that's how I would say we do it, is that modeling of inclusion across campus.
And I also think another piece of it is that these aren't mentors who are only special ed majors or education majors. What I also love is that these are students, because this fulfills 2 gen ed credits. These are students who are in really every department across the university. So not only are they students who may have no experience with disability in the past because they're taking this course as a gen ed course, frankly, but they're getting disability exposure, and then they're kind of learning about inclusion. They're spreading the concept of inclusion by learning about it and practicing it by becoming a mentor. And then they are going to be able to take that out into the field that they work in as they graduate. So that is really spreading the concept of disability inclusion in a huge way as they head out into the world as University of Maryland graduates. So, and then there's another piece, is that our program is a career-focused program, and all students are building on a layered, career-focused courses tied to their interests, and they're getting internships that build toward getting a paid job when they exit. And all of that is, they have opportunities throughout campus tied to their interests for internships. So that also is layers of inclusion within the university and then as they exit. So that's building on experience as well. So that's spreading inclusion in the workforce as well. So really, there's so much inclusion. It's wonderful.
So as we all know, that post-secondary programs helps prepare students with disabilities to get employment. How did you make sure they have a secure job after they graduate?
Well, there's a lot of work that goes into that. First of all, as Meredith said, they have internships on campus, so they're getting experience. And that's helping them network. It's helping them connect. Also, we have partnered with the Maryland Division of Rehab Services, or Department of Rehab Services, DOORS, which is the voc rehab agency in the state, and they help people with disabilities find jobs. So we have partnered with them. All of our students have full open cases with vocational rehabilitation, and there is an employment specialist that then comes from DOORS paid agency that works with the students directly. So there's somebody dedicated to helping to find jobs. And then our goal really is that we meet with every student's family and their whole team. So they get a team together as they're getting ready to graduate from a lot of the state agencies and the places that are going to provide support after we leave. And we try to do a lot of planning with that team before they leave, so that if we can help them find a job that they're going to exit to, then we can also transition all the supports to their new support people. And our goal is to be really involved with that and make it as seamless as possible so that they really are finding jobs that they're interested in and they're going to be supported as soon as they leave.
So with the peer mentors, how do they help with employment?
Well, in the class, we talk a lot about having the students provide kind, clear, direct feedback. So when mentors go to the internships on campus with them, they are helping guide them in how to engage with their internship, do the job tasks, and
just interact appropriately in a work setting.
yeah,
They're modeling that, and
they're modeling that both their behavior and their job tasks, so that they have a successful internship and learn from it and get the feedback so that they can really thrive and then move on to their next internship and do even better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So I need to know, what are you most proud of?
Oh my gosh. I think for me, it's the unexpected impact that we've had in so many areas that I could not have predicted, so it's in all across campus through the peer mentors. It's in different clubs that they've had on campus. It's in employment. It's the different levels of the university. I think just the impact has been greater than I expected this quickly.
I think we've heard from so many people how life-changing this has been, not only from the TerpsEXCEED students and their families, but from a tremendous number of mentors. Like life-changing to be a part of this program from all sides. And I think that is just
That
fabulous.
was unexpected for me. Yeah.
Yeah. We had no idea.
And people who didn't have a lot of disability experience before, too, which is
And they're
really
changing
lovely.
their major, they're changing their career course.
Yeah, we hear a lot, and that's kind of special.
So where do you find these students? Where do you find the students for the program?
The TerpsEXCEED students, the recruitment, the word got out, and all of the transition specialists in all of the counties are aware of TerpsEXCEED, so they talk about it there. We've done a bunch of presentations, family presentations, a lot of word of mouth. We do an open house, and we get a lot of family interest. So it has grown, and what it has taught us is that we can't be the only program in the state. There are a lot of really interested, students and families. So expanding or replicating a TerpsEXCEED-like program at other colleges and universities across Maryland is really necessary and something that we're going to work toward, so that people who are interested in college in Maryland have a choice too. So we don't have a problem getting applicants at this point. Not at all.
Oh, good. How do you feel now versus the beginning of the program?
Oh, that's a great question. Tired?
I think there are pieces that we feel. I mean, we've grown exponentially. We started with 2 students, and now we have 15 students. We started with a handful of mentors. Now we have 120 mentors. We are certainly known across the state. That's exciting. We have all these internships that students have had. So I think the awareness is there, and I think we're very busy. So I think, I think we feel a lot of momentum, and I think we're tired.
Yeah.
But we're excited.
Oh my gosh.
So we have to, we have to build. Now we're at the point where we have to tweak and change some of our structures and processes because we are so big.
Yeah.
And it's not sustainable as it was in the small version. So, that's a great problem to have. So much interest, so much success. And so it's a little bit of growing pains. But just, again, thrilled at some of that, what we talked about, that unexpected impact and people getting excited about it. And just watching, now that we have graduates, watching them as they're growing, it's a
good problem to have. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary and Meredith, for being here. I am really grateful for working with you both. And for those who are listening, please stay in tune for the next podcast. Thank you.
Thanks for the
Thank
opportunity.
you. Thanks.